Good evening. It is Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. So what happened today? Look at that big green candle. This is Coach Avalos coming at you, giving you the latest and the greatest with the stock market. Look at this amazing candle from NDQ. This thing jumped up. Let's go ahead and measure it so you guys understand what's going on. If it'll work with me. Looking at $326 at the bell. Wow, what a jump. But then what happened afterwards? Look at what happened to the market. It just kind of went sideways, right? And then it started dipping, then it started going up. We'll change this over to a 30-minute to give you a better view. It just didn't make it, right? It tried hard, tried hard. There was a bull run, and then game over, right? That was interesting. So anyways, let's go through the stocks and see what's going on with them. Here we have Amazon. Amazon, again, like we talked about yesterday, did not make it past the resistance. If you see here, okay, came up again, and it hit the resistance and came back down. So it looks like the 200, which is this green line here, is being resistance for a lot of the stocks. So keep an eye out on that. If you have TradingView and you chart, I suggest you get your EMAs up there. But let's look at Apple. Apple, a giant, right? One of the 5 big giants. Apple actually broke through. That one was interesting there. So Apple is above the 200, and now it has officially a golden cross there. That is very interesting. But Amazon didn't make it. Well, what's going to happen tomorrow? Will Amazon go up, or is it going to turn around? We'll discuss that in a little bit, but we need to discuss the stocks and what happened today. What was the news? We did have a gap up, right? So again, Microsoft here had some resistance at this area, but it is above the 200 EMA, which means that's very bullish. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Then we have Tesla. Tesla is doing the same thing we said it would do. So we said it was going to go down because it was in a downtrend to begin with, but it tried very hard today and it jumped up. Who knows? It's already above the 200, and here comes the 50. Who knows? Maybe it'll start going up, and we can see a nice bull run. Here we got Google, same thing. And Google, for some reason, just seems to be in a bad spot here, right? It's just like it doesn't want to break out. It's just going sideways, sideways, sideways. So interesting. We'll see tomorrow what Google does. It did gap up a little bit here, but it did go sideways like everything else. Chipotle, one of the ones I watch. I like Chipotle for volatile moves right now. Hasn't had many volatile moves, but it does have an uptrend, which is very good if you like buying straddles or strangles and you see this going on. It's nice. Let's look at the TD sequential on Chipotle. It's on the 9th day, but the last day did not register, which tells me that there could be a couple more candles on the way up with no days on it. I've seen that happen where it goes 1 through 9, and then it'll give you 3 or 4 days with no numbers on it, and then it'll turn around and go into a bear market and start giving you the first red. So, be interesting to see Chipotle tomorrow. And here we have NDQ. NDQ, same thing here, right? We said it had resistance, hasn't passed it. Then we got kind of a green day, right? It did jump up, and then it started going sideways, but for now it's still under the 200. So for some reason a lot of these stocks on Nasdaq are getting resistance under the 200 EMA. Here we have SPX. SPX was kind of bullish today. It didn't care what everyone else did, and it actually broke the resistance. See that? It got up there. So I think we're 50-50 with a lot of these stocks, so be careful with your entries. Here we have the Dow Jones, same thing, right? 200. There was a lot of resistance there, but now it's above. It closed above the 200. So a lot of investors and traders are going to look at that and say, okay, we are officially reversing, and they will start purchasing. So don't be surprised if this jumps up in the morning, but for now, I think we might start seeing a kind of a tug of war, but eventually we'll see maybe a trend down because the inflation numbers today, which I'll go over with you guys in a few, were zero. So what does that mean? Well, everybody was happy because it didn't go up, but you still have inflation, and you have inflation at a pretty high rate, one of the highest ever. So here we have Nasdaq. Nasdaq is headed in a ascending wedge. I don't know if it's going to break up or it's going to bounce off that resistance and start headed down. So you have your wedge line here. You have the resistance from previous months. Then you also have your 200 average that it's not getting past. So that's going to be a good one to watch because if the rest of the stocks are moving up, this one's going to tell you they're doing it. So if you don't have IXIC, I recommend that you put it in your watch list so you can see the increases or the changes per day. Here you see 2.89% is a pretty big move, 360 points. So I'll be interested to watch that tomorrow. And then we have the Russell, same thing. It broke out. So again, right, it's like a 50-50. Some did, some didn't. And then we have the Russell 2000, which also closed above. So it'll be interesting to see tomorrow what's going on with these stocks. But I want to show you one thing with Apple. So Apple is in a golden cross. And one of the things that I went over to go look at is the weekly on Apple. Okay. And I looked at the MACD. Look at the MACD. So if you don't understand how the MACD works, these bars represent how far apart these lines are. So it shows you the strength of the move, okay? And so these things are getting taller and taller. So it tells me potentially if Apple continues to lead, then it's going to take a lot of the market with it, and we'll see a bull run. But like I said before, be careful with your entries. Do not enter just because you hear that everything is green, which it's not. So be very careful with your entries. My recommendation is paper trade. So whatever you are thinking of doing, okay, if you say, hey, it's a bear market, look, we're going up. We were red, now we're going up. All right, so buy some calls or buy some shares, but on paper trade and see what happens. Watch it and have yourself a stop loss. Make sure you stop out. Don't lose everything. Don't even lose half of it. Maybe you set a 5% stop loss, but that's up to you. Everybody has a different risk management, okay? So what happened today? Well, we had some amazing news, okay? Let me move my big head out of there. So the government says that we came in at zero today. So the news release this morning says that we are even. We did not go up. We did not go down. Everybody was high-fiving, cheering. But guess what? You still have inflation. People are still paying more than $2.76 at the pump. That's not a good thing. So keep an eye on that because that might affect the market. The market might turn around and say, hey, we're still up there, so I am not going to buy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start selling because some folks might want to start going cash. So keep an eye out for that. So if you're interested in this and you want to learn more about what affects the market, I recommend that you come over to bls.gov and check out all their data. They have a lot of cool data in here about the economy. You'll see stuff in there about unemployment, productivity. You'll see by state what the inflation is in your area. So a lot of good stuff there. So I hope this helps. I'm going to leave a link in the description for a 30-day free trial in my group, Bullring Trading. If you want to learn more about trading, come to bullringtrading.com, okay? And you'll find the first page, and there's going to be a button that says Teach Me. So what is trading? Okay, click on Teach Me, and you're going to get the first 5 different versions of trading, and you can go through every single one. And if you find some value there and you say, hey, I want to learn more, I want to go to that 30-day free trial, put your email in here, okay? Put your email in there. I'll send you the link. The link will also be at the description on this video. And if you found any of this to be of value and you liked it, please do me a favor and click like and then hit the subscribe button. So I appreciate your time, and I hope that this all makes sense. But again, if it didn't, let me know, and I can hook up with you, and we can do one-on-one, and we'll learn more about trading together. All right. Well, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk again tomorrow.